Hey Wildcats! This week for online learning, we're going to be talking about repetition. So repetition means to repeat something or do it over and over again. Artists do this in lots of different ways. So we're going to look at an artist and then we're going to create something using repetition. Let's get started. To help us learn about repetition, we're going to look at the artist Vasily Kandinsky's artwork. This is one of Kandinsky's paintings. What shapes do you see? I see lots and lots of circles inside of circles, and then circles next to circles. He uses repetition with the shape circle. He repeats it over and over. This is another one of Kandinsky's paintings where he uses the shape of a circle, and he repeats it over and over again in different sizes, but in a different way. Today we're going to use circles and lines and patterns to repeat and make artwork like Kandinsky. The first thing we're going to do is find lots and lots of circles of different sizes, so some that are big and some that are small. And then we're going to sort them. So I'm going to start with the biggest circle on the bottom. That to me is the blue one. And then I'll put the next biggest on top. We're going to make circles that look like Kandinsky's. Oh, look at that one is bigger because it covered up the whole circle. So I'm going to put it underneath, and then I've got my last circle and I'm finished. Once we're done sorting our circles from biggest to smallest, we can then take them and trace them to create artwork like Kandinsky. So I'll put my first circle down and trace around it. Sometimes you might need some help to trace, have somebody else hold it down. And now starting with the smallest and going up to the biggest, I'm going to trace all of my circles to fill up my paper. This is showing repetition because we are repeating or using the same shape over and over again. I'm going to keep going until I get to the bottom of my stack to the biggest circle. Now that we have all of our circles traced, we have the repeating shape of circles, and we can add something else. Something else that repeats is called a pattern. So patterns repeat by using the same shapes or lines over and over again. So for my first pattern, I'm going to use straight lines that go all the way around repeating. In the second circle, I will use a wavy line. And then I'll go back to those straight lines. Next up, I'm going to freeze so you can guess, what do you think comes next? Straight little lines or wavy lines if we are repeating a pattern? Now let's see if you guessed correctly. It's a wavy line. We went straight line, wavy line, straight lines, wavy lines, and my last line will be what? What do you think? If you guessed straight lines, you've got it. I'm going to add straight lines all the way around my last circle. Now, just like Kandinsky, we used repetition. We repeated shapes and patterns. For my friends who are looking for an extra challenge, you can add a lot more lines and colors to create more repetition and pattern inside of your circles. Or you can change up the shape and do hearts inside of hearts or squares inside of squares. It is all up to you. See you next week, friends.